Press record. All right.
Good evening, everyone. I'm here now.
Hey.
Hey, Michelle.
Hey.
Hello. Here at Emily's house. Hello, everyone. Good evening.
Well, it's a lovely webinar, guys. So we're going to finish now. You're a little bit late, Bex.
Wow.
No, I'm just kidding. Actually, I just recorded that, so everyone's going to leave with the recording. Like to welcome you all to our team call tonight. And as you can probably guess, Rochelle is going to be doing that for us tonight on customer care. But before we do that, just a couple of announcements. So don't forget the team party. There is a couple of spaces left on our team party, and those that are on Emily's team, don't forget to book Emily's party, or I'm not sure if she's got a booking link, or but make sure you plan to go to that. If you haven't booked for convention yet, please do. It's going to be great. Dr. Hill and David Sterling are over. I'm going to be doing lots of talks at the convention, and then the gala night as well, which is a lovely event. Bex, did you have anything you wanted to announce?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, at the team party, obviously it's going to be lovely because we'll get to kind of mingle and meet each other, which I think is really special, physically rather than just online. But also, you'll probably get a chance to speak to a couple of the executives. I think a couple of them are going to be joining as well. So that doesn't really happen. So that's quite a big thing as well. So, it's exciting. So I'm excited to see, you there. That's all I wanted to say, really.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
Apart from, actually, Nathan, so are you announcing, I did put this on the Facebook, but just to reiterate, there's been lots of you asking about the new GDPR things, that are coming in, the implications of doTERRA. We've got a lovely lady on under Rochelle, actually, who said that she'll come on next week. She's training nurses how to, adapt to this new data protection and all these different rules and regulations that I think will be very good for us to be aware of, because it's coming into practice very soon. So she's going to come on next week and do a big training for everybody. So that's really lovely of her. So I recommend you come on to that. And then Lisa Burke, the head of Europe, she's also been working with doTERRA on some things as well. So as soon as we know all the information there, we'll update you with that stuff too. But it's nothing to worry about. It will just be a few things we'll have to kind of just tweak a bit.
Yes. Thank you, Rebecca, for compliance.
Yeah.
So we have a couple of winners from the week before, which I didn't announce because I was struggling with it to work out, because we didn't do it properly on the right post. So there was a couple of posts. So I figured it out. So Natalie Heath, Tess Crawford, Charlie Brown, and Viv Chamberlain were the ones that their 3 contacts first and got back to us in some form. So we'll be sending your prize in the post this week. The prizes for the most amount of volume for this week, decided to keep it till the end of tonight, because people are still going to be finding volume, like Karina, and there might be some of you out there might find more volume. So we thought, actually, we'll leave it till the end of tonight. So if by tomorrow morning or tomorrow you post on the on that Facebook page, on the post that we have already, post what your figures are for the end of the month. Let us know, and then we'll choose the winners from that. Okay. So if you do that by 6 o'clock tomorrow night, then I know exactly what we're working with. All right. So just remember, the prizes for that are the most volume, the top 3 with the most volume win a family essential kit. If anyone does over 3,000 volume, there'll be 3 home essential kits coming your way. I don't know if anyone's close. I haven't heard it yet, but maybe there will. Sorry? Oh, that sounds dubious. you can't actually. You're not on Rank Advancement Club, Michelle. I said yes. Yes. So let us know by tomorrow. Okay. And then for Rank Advancement Club, we will announce everyone that's rank advanced next Monday's call, and let you. Next Monday's call will be more of a celebration call. Okay, so come on to that call. It'll be a fun call. All right. Over to Rebecca. Hand it over to Rebecca. Do you have anything, Bex?
No, I just wanted to say, obviously, this is kind of the end of rank advancement, and if you haven't ranked, then don't worry about it. It's not all about ranking. It's about just getting the strategy and getting all the different tools in place. You know how to rank, and just developing your tool set really, and just helping to teach and share different strategies with each other, so you can carry these things onwards and upwards and rank next month. April is definitely a tricky month this year. So if you're feeling like it went badly for you, you are with other people as well. There's been lots of people this month. April hasn't been a great month because of Easter holidays. We had the big offer in March.
Pretty much everyone's had it's been lower.
So we wanted to reassure you. So don't worry if April hasn't gone as good as you think it should have gone for you. Use it as a kind of a thinking kind of time and lessons you've learned, and put all your energy into May. That's kind of the way it can go sometimes. So don't feel disheartened.
It is important that you've got momentum going. Don't lose momentum, and if you have ranked, then get it solid for next month and the month after. If you haven't, then just keep going. Keep using the tools that you've learned through the Rank Advancement Club. They are all the tools that you need to keep on ranking. For every rank, they're the same tools over and over again.
Exactly. And I'm very excited to introduce Rochelle. Were you introducing Rochelle, Nate?
I'll let you introduce her.
Okay, I'll introduce Rochelle. I love, what are the decorations in your, got some things.
Okay, I'm at my friend's house in Sheffield because I had a meeting with someone today, and she lives in Sheffield, my friend, so I was meeting her afterwards. And then I was meant to leave her house by 7:15 so I could be back for the call, and then it was like 7:50, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to do it here. And her partner is a very keen cyclist, so this is sweaty cycling gear drying behind me.
Excellent. It's brilliant. It's real. It's keeping it real, Rochelle. Well, thank you for sacrificing your driving home into your own house and being somewhere so you can be with us. Rochelle, you've already had a bit of a taster if you haven't already got to know Rochelle, but if this is the first kind of experience of Rochelle, then you're in for a treat. She's amazing at what she does. She's so good at enrolling people, being very personable with people. She's great at relationships, and this is what this call, we're kind of going to tap into these strengths of Rochelle's, and she's going to be sharing with us about continued customer care, and really this is something that you can see just radiates from Rochelle. She connects with people really well and forms these relationships of trust, and that's a massive part of this business. And she's a lovely person as well, and like I said, hugely successful in doTERRA. You got to Diamond, and how long did it take you, Rochelle?
16 months.
16 months. So that's amazing, and so we're very fortunate to have Rochelle on our team. We love having you as a friend and a colleague, and thank you for coming on tonight to share some things with us, Rochelle. So over to you.
Okay. Thanks for having me. Okay, I don't have slides or anything. I'm not particularly organised. Also, my hair seems to be doing something really weird, so I'm just going to ignore that. Just press on. Thanks for having me on the call. I guess what I'm going to do is talk about me and what I do, and I don't think there's really strategy in place. Like, I've never really had a strategy around how I've built doTERRA. I in fact started doing doTERRA without even thinking about it. I kind of had to do it because my client base straight away wanted, I just really hate my hair right now. I just wish I couldn't see myself. My client base were really interested in the oils. Emily and Rebecca came to teach a class for 30 of my clients in Leicestershire, and straight away, like half of them enrolled with the Home Essentials kit. And I suppose initially maybe that is one of the reasons why that class was successful, because they already had a trust in the things that I believed in.
No, it was just a flipping good taught class.
Well, okay, apart from that,
only kidding, I'll mute myself again.
Partly, no, I mean, obviously you had to, they didn't know anything about doTERRA and you guys had to teach them, but I do, like, it's one of the reasons why I actually hesitated being involved with doTERRA, because I knew that my customer base kind of did stuff just because I did it. And so I had to be really, I don't know if you remember, Rebecca, but I was quite worried about being involved with something that I didn't fully know and trust completely. And so it took me a while to like really realize that I trusted and wanted to go with doTERRA, because I felt this huge responsibility for my customers and my clients, that I knew that if I did it, they'd probably follow suit without necessarily thinking about it too much. And so I have always been passionate about going the extra mile for my customers and my clients. I guess I've never necessarily really felt comfortable about earning money from what I've done as a health coach. It's always felt like doing something that's so personal with people and helping them with their health, like I felt like uncomfortable charging for it. But obviously I've had to make a living. But then people who go into this industry often go into this industry, like yourself as well, with what you do. You did it initially because you cared about people. And so those kind of people perhaps do struggle more with the money side of it. I've grown to be very comfortable with money, by the way, personal development. But so I have always gone the extra mile with people and wanted them to feel a complete experience of me. I've also always been the kind of person, I'm actually doing something at the moment. I'm having someone's asked to interview me, and I'm being interviewed by her in stages. In fact, I've got the next stage tomorrow. But I said to Josh, I don't really know what I've got to say. Like, why is she asking to interview me? Like, what have I really got to add? And he said to me that he notices quite distinctly that one of the things that I do perhaps differently to other people, perhaps not, he doesn't know other people, but one thing he notices a lot about me is that I always come from a place of putting that person first, like them getting my time and my love and care, and feeling that first and foremost is my priority before I'm even thinking about selling them oils. And it's true. I mean, I think I did tell that story the other day of that woman that I met on the hills. Do you remember it? I don't know if it was on it, but I bet I won't go into it again. But I saw this woman, she was clearly in distress. I stopped, and I was running, and I stopped, and I said, can I talk to you? Can I help you? And she was like blown away. She said, no one ever stops and talks to people, just strangers, when they're looking upset. Like, I thank you. And she was really touched. And she's since had samples, been to a class, and is now hosting a class of 20 people for me. But my intention when I stopped for her on the hills was not that she might run a class with host a class for 20 people with me. My intention was to give to her and to be able to be there for her, woman to woman, or person to person, even, I do the same with a man. So that initial instinct within me to care for people and be there for people and nurture people, I think has been one of the reasons why I have been successful with doTERRA, because that's always my first intention. And people feel you, and we know really well that people aren't necessarily they're not buying the product. In fact, people buy you before they buy the product. They're buying off you, and they feel you. So if they feel you and they feel your heart, they have so much trust with you that then when you tell them this product is amazing and you teach them about it, they want to do nothing but just dive straight in. So even before we get to continued customer care, it starts right at the beginning, that relationship building. And it can't, okay, I'm not going to say I'm an angel. Like, yes, sometimes I'll see someone and they'll be in, for example, I'm in the swimming changing rooms and there's a woman using natural products and they're organic, and I'm thinking, she'd probably quite like doTERRA. And so I start a conversation with her. You know, I'm always thinking about my business as well. So it's not always from a place of like, oh, I just really, but then equally it is, because we know these oils are amazing and everyone needs them in their life. But yeah, so I have always come from a place of love initially, and it's grown to people trusting, and then they want to be part of whatever I'm part of, is what I find. Today, I did a class last 2 weeks ago, and there was a woman there, and she said to me after the class, she knew I was a health coach, which I don't have time to do these days. I don't have time to health coach people. I'm too busy doing doTERRA, and actually I do love that, because I love how the oils are a gateway for people to start to think about their health in a different way, in a way that often nutrition is much harder for them to enter in on. You know, nutrition has so much food, has so much emotion behind it and past experience, whereas putting oil on your skin or inhaling oils, or, you know, drinking oils, it's a very easy concept for people that they then grow in consciousness around other areas of their life. And so I do love the way it's this much easier gateway for people to start to consider their health, that I can then eventually work with people in different ways, which I do, you know, then. But I was with her in this class, and she said to me afterwards, I really would love some health coaching. And I'm thinking, really do not have time to health coach someone right now. But I could feel her desperation. You know, women are out there often, and I know I talk about women a lot, but I work with women. Women are out there to desperately needing someone to listen to them, and someone to give them some form of guidance on how to move forward, to take care of themselves, feel so lost, you know, in this world, because there's so many different things coming at them all the time. And so I said, okay, let's meet. And so she never brought the oils, nothing, right? So we met today, this morning, in Starbucks. 2 hours I sat with her and spoke about her health. I spoke about, you know, her experiences of herself and how she feels about herself. I had no intention that she was buying oils. I had no thought that she was buying oils. I thought she might buy oils, but it wasn't the reason I was there. I was there because I wanted to give to her, and I wasn't charging her or anything. She asked me at the end if I wanted any money, but I didn't. But at the end, she said to me, oh, by the way, I want to buy the Home Essentials kit. I was like, okay. And I got out my computer. She signed herself up there on the spot. And that, if I, you know, hadn't given to her in that way in the first instance, if I'd been like, no, I don't do health coaching anymore, I'm all about oils now, that would have happened. But you know, I was there for her. I wanted to be there for her. And then ultimately, you know, she ends up getting oils. It's just an example of how things go. So initially, that's really important. Like, don't jump in with the sale. Like, be there for people, engage with people, understand people, build a relationship with people, let them feel you. I heard something really interesting the other day, and I shared this with my team because it really resonated with me. We're in a stage still in the UK where we're pioneering this. You know, we're pioneering bringing the oils into people's lives. And I do feel like when I'm in London, I live in Derby, but I do feel in London like it's further ahead. If I do an event in London, it's very easy, pretty easy anyway, to sign people up on the spot. If I'm doing an event in, you know, Derby, it's a lot harder. People are still, what is this? What, you know, whereas if you do a vegan event or a health event in London, everyone's heard of doTERRA. But what's interesting is we're in a stage now, and we're growing into this stage, and certainly in America and Australia, they're in a stage where people know of doTERRA, or they at least know of essential oils, and that they're growing. And what people are looking for now is who they're going to go on this journey with. And the person that they are going to go on this journey with is the person that they feel, the person that they connect with. And if you don't show yourself to that person, if you're just all about selling them the oils, if you're not there connecting with them on a heart level, then they're not going to feel you, and they're not going to be inspired to go on this journey with you. And they're going to wait and find the next person who does inspire them in that way, and who does connect with them in that way. And, you know, when I heard this, I didn't hear it in full entirety, but that's kind of, I walk a lot with podcasts in my ears and books in my ears, and it brings things to my mind. And then I get on my phone and do Facebook Lives to my team while I'm walking around hills crying. But that's just what I get from me. But you know, I did a live there and then when I was thinking about it. It's true, we've got the stage in some areas of the country where we're still pioneering it, but people may not be buying yours straight away, but they're watching you. They're watching what you're doing. They're watching your passion. They're watching your vibe. They're watching your energy. And eventually, hopefully, you will be the one that they decide to go on the journey with, because they would have been touched so many times by the oils and by you, and they would feel you so intently that they're like, I want to be part of this, which to an extent is what I already had when I started doTERRA. I already had people that felt me and knew me, which is why they wanted to buy straight away. I don't have that anymore. I'm not in my warm market anymore. I'm having to build those things again with new people, which I love, so that's fine. So we've got the pioneer stage, and then in some parts of the country, and with the people that we have been working on for a longer period of time, if we've been doing this for a longer period of time, we've got that kind of, okay, I've decided you're the one I want to go on this journey with. And I often have people, you know, who've been following me or with me in different areas of social media or my newsletter, you know, who come at me, who've been following me for like a year and a half. I had a lady enroll this month that I met a year and a half ago at a show, who's followed me on Instagram ever since. She's felt me through Instagram because it's a very public space where you get to really see a person's personality. And, you know, she decided, and then I got a message from someone today. She's not ready to sign up yet, but she just wanted to tell me. I sent her a video message. I connect with people on video as much as I can, so they feel me. It's not just typing, you know. And she said, she explained a little bit about what was going on in her life. And she said, Rochelle, I just want you to know, I'm so excited about doTERRA and starting on this journey and building the business with doTERRA. I can't do it right now. It's not the right time for me. But I love your vibe. I feel your vibe so strongly that when I do it, you are going to be the one I do it with. I'm excited about it. So that's the first bit. And that's not continued customer care, but it's part of it, right? And so then they sign up eventually, whenever that is. And I cannot tell you how many people tell me that when they've signed up, they never hear from the person that's enrolled them again. One person actually told me the other day that they signed up, they were asked if they were going to do the business, they said no, and they never heard from that person again. So that's someone in Canada. And then now thinking, it was actually someone that I signed up in February at a show on the spot. Her and her friend signed up. She'd already heard of doTERRA through various other people around the world. And she said, oh, I feel like you're the person I'm going to do this with. And so she signed up. Now, she's had a great experience with me because since February, we've probably spoken 10 times, more. She started doing the business. We've been texting a lot. She said she's done other network marketing things. She said she's never had the kind of support that she's got from me and the kind of care that she's had from me because, you know, I give, you know, if I think of someone and I think of them when it's relating to an oil, I'll send it them and, you know, send them samples. I've made her a blends up for her brother who's dealing with various things. You know, we have a relationship. We've built a relationship. And she said that she'd said to her friend who said this to her, who was actually going to give away her oils because she had not had those experiences with her upline. Don't do that. You shouldn't do that. These oils are amazing. And if you have the right support, this company is an incredible experience. Come and join my team and be supported by Rochelle. Like that is her experience of me that she's telling her friend whose account will be, you know, able to be moved in a month's time. She's not used it for a month. And her friend's not going to give up the oils anymore. She's going to start integrating them into her business and, you know, be part of a team that gives her support. And it's not just around the business. I do the same with my customers. My customers are friends with me on Facebook. They know that they can come to me and ask me a question whenever they want. Some of them ask me too often, and then maybe I'll refer them a little bit to the group. But I never make people feel like a burden, but I still respect my own boundaries. So I do have spaces where people can collaborate with each other and learn from each other. So I do have a Facebook forum where my customers are, and they support each other beautifully. So I don't actually always have to be involved. But if people do have something private and they want to ask me, they can ask me. I have the call with them after they enroll. And I say, you get an hour on the phone with me, and they do if they want it. I talk them through their oils again so they know how to use them for their bespoke needs. I then show them how to use their account, as we should, of course, in a wellness consult. But I say to them, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to get in touch with me. And I mean it. When I'm doing a class, I say, when you buy these oils, you not only get the oils and the stuff that I send you, because I send them a little welcome pack with guides in and stuff, you get me for life. And I hands down mean it. I am not just saying it to get a sale. I do not want people to buy these oils and not use them. I do not want people to buy these oils and just have them sitting on the shelves for two reasons. I would feel very guilty that they would have spent money just because I've been very good at convincing them and influencing them that they're amazing. And secondly, so I would feel really guilty about that they just sat there and didn't do anything. But secondly, it would be a travesty for them to have these oils in their house and not be using them, because we know how special they are. And so when I'm teaching a class and I say it, I mean it. And people will know I mean it, because I do mean it. So it comes across as genuine. And then, some people take you up on it and they use you, and you have their, that relationship build with them. And one of the things that I love so much about doTERRA is the relationships that I've built with the women in my team, my people doing the business. Anyone, anywhere in my team has my energy and support. And I've got to say that Nathan and Rebecca have taught me that better than anyone. I'm not their enrollment, I'm Emily's enrollment. Hi Emily, if you can hear. She's cooking in the background or something. Is she there?
She's putting the kids to bed.
Okay.
Frankie.
Okay. So, but Nathan and Rebecca have always been there for me, and I know that they always would be. And they have really taught me a huge lesson there, that even if they're not your personal enrollment or they don't make any difference to your rank, like if someone needs you and wants you and their energy is like there and doing it, like you match it and you're there for them. And I will always be for anyone in my team. If they reach up to me and they need me, I will be there for them, because it's really important to me. But the same is also true, for my customers. They've got these oils, and it's not just like a thanks for the sale, see ya. It's you're part of my community now, and I will always be there to support you with the oils, whether you're doing the business or not, whether you're buying one oil a year or not. Like, I am there for you. And I really, really 100% mean it. I think people feel that and they experience it. And guess what? They tell their friends. And then their friends come and buy oils off you. And they're excited to be part of a community that has the support of someone at the top that is truly passionate about what they're doing and supporting people. So when people enroll, I send them a welcome pack. I send them some empty roller balls and an A to Z guide and an emotions blend and emotions chart and a dilution chart, so I know they're using them safely, because that's really important for me. I give them a wild orange, and they just get a really beautiful package in the post for me. They don't necessarily know what they're getting in it, they don't know when they're getting it, but they get it and they're always grateful for it. They love receiving it. And then we have the call together. They have me, I have a scheduling system in my calendar via Google Mail that I send them a link that they can book in an hour's consultation with me when it suits them. They have all of me in that time. And then I have this month actually sent emails to everyone I've ever enrolled, offering them another half an hour consultation with me if they want it. Not many people have taken it up, but I've sent it, I've asked them, and they are welcome to it, of course, whenever. I do live videos on my Facebook group for my customers regularly about various topics. I do little sort of not competitions. I do things like I share videos about stuff, and I say, when you've watched it, let me know what your favorite thing in it was, and I'll pick one at random and send you a prize around the related topic. I just really feel passionate about being there for people and creating that community. So I don't do anything more sophisticated than that. I probably should do advanced education. I don't. that's it. That's really all I do. But yeah, happy to answer questions if anyone has any.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you so much. I when you shared the welcome pack the other week, I thought that was such an excellent idea. I love it. And I think it's such a lovely, because it's something you don't have to do at all, and they'll know that as well because they've already purchased. So it really is showing that extra mile and doing something because you're obviously really passionate about it and you want to look after them, and that will go, that will speak volumes. I'm just thinking of myself as a customer, that would speak volumes to me. So I really love that idea. And I was thinking, I don't know if you do this, but it doesn't matter if you don't, but I was just thinking what I might want to just put like a little note in as well. I'm sure you probably do. Just like a nice personal note, wouldn't you? And that's just lovely. It just really builds that relationship. And I think that's wonderful. And then the Facebook group, I think is brilliant. Yeah. So does anyone have any questions for Rochelle on continued customer care? I mean, do you have a phone? I know you're not really a phone person, are you? So you probably don't. Do you phone them, or do you more like to touch base with them?
No, but I've sent that email saying if they want another half an hour chat, they can have it. And so I've got a list of all those people I've sent the email to. And my next job is just to text them to say, I hope you got the email. I really do mean it. So do let me know if you'd like to have a half an hour chat. I don't really call people out the blue. I just always worry that they might be at work or they might be busy. So,
yeah, absolutely.
No, I don't do that.
No, but you do continued customer care through that. That's brilliant. Yeah. Has anyone got any questions for Rochelle about customer? Have we got anything in there? Is anything in the chat? It's pretty self-explanatory, but if anyone else...
I'll ask one.
Oh, thanks. Hey, Vanessa.
Hi, Rochelle. Does that not mean you get inundated? Like, no, how do you then manage your time with? Because we do know. Go on, sorry.
I don't get inundated. I mean, as I say, one woman enrolled last week and I have had about 50 text messages off her. She doesn't use Facebook though. I find that most people do respect your time and they will use the Facebook group. They will use the Facebook group to ask a question. They kind of, I had one woman tell me the other day that she bought Claricalm off Amazon because she didn't want to bother me. It cost her 50 quid. So people do ridiculous, but people do worry about wasting your time. Generally, people have boundaries. Not everyone, but most people do. So I don't find that at all. I don't find it. Yeah.
That's good. What was the Google thing that you used? I like that idea.
Yeah, so do you use Google Calendar?
I do.
So there's a program called Calendly, CALEN. CALEN.
Yeah.
And it just integrates in with Google Mail, and you can just send people a link. So it's free for just one kind of appointment. If you want 3 different types, you pay $8 a month or something. But you can have I've called mine Welcome to doTERRA Call. And so you just send them the link and then you've set your times up in Calendly where you will accept calls, and you can even say give me a break half an hour before and half an hour each call. So you can really advance the settings, and then you send them that link, and so it feels so much easier for people rather than what time can you do? Oh, I can't do that time, and then people are oh, forget it. They can just book it in. So yeah,
I hate it because you're trying to schedule in between the times that you've got available, but trying to be when are you free?
I know, exactly. Whereas this is super easy, and I also went through all the people I'd never done a wellness consult with for various reasons, and I did a whole email to them a couple of weeks ago with the link, and I've had so many people book in for a wellness consult. They never had one because it's just so easy. They're just oh, I can do that time. So yeah,
that's brilliant. I'm doing it.
Okay,
I'll let someone else answer now.
That's brilliant, thanks. There's a question here, not related so much to customer care, but a good question. Margot's asked, what do you do when people at a class want to buy 1 or 2 oils and not the kit? What do you do, Rochelle?
I say I can see why you think that. I initially thought that it would be perhaps cheaper to do it that way too, but I guarantee you that every time almost someone asks me that, when I work it out, it is more cost effective to buy the family essentials kit. Which oils do you want? And then often they'll be like, oregano, melaleuca, frankincense. I'm like, stop right there. You've already got to £115. You might as well buy the family essentials kit. You will use every oil in this kit. So I quickly say, recap, lavender does this. You get your account for free. It just makes economical sense. If you can't afford that kit right now, let me know in a month's time when you can. And most of the time they'll say, yeah, okay, that makes sense. I'll buy it now.
Brilliant answer.
Okay.
Excellent, thanks. Do you do wellness consultations over the web, so over Zoom?
Yeah.
Or do you try and do them face to face?
I've never done one face to face.
There we go. Is that because they haven't been geographically?
Actually, yeah. And you know what? I did a class the other day in a local farm. It was really great. Like I got a lot of enrollments from it, and I said, would anyone like the idea of getting back together and doing a follow-on class where we do the wellness consult stuff, and make some, and people were like, yeah, no, I'd really love that. So I wouldn't poo-poo actually, I've done one wellness consult face-to-face. It went on for about 3 hours. This is me, not having any boundaries, and people have got you and they'll just talk to you. Whereas think about Calendly, that link, like people can see they've booked an hour with you and they know, and they respect that because they booked that time. And you could send a half an hour slot if you haven't got an hour to spend with people. But yeah, no, I do it via Zoom and or on the phone. Yeah, I prefer Zoom so I can show them their account on the screen.
Yeah, that's true. And I've done both. So at the beginning, definitely when I had more time and they were generally closer to me because there were people I was signing up in my local town, I would do face to face. And I did personally love that because you can build I find sometimes building a relationship is easier when you're in their home, and you get more of a feel. Like you were saying, they get more of a feel, definitely physical, and they get to smell some products. I think that's the benefits of that. But I do a lot on Zoom as well, so, and I think they work wonderfully, like you're saying. And especially because what you're doing is you're sending them like an LRP welcome pack almost. They have some of those key things, and
and also I do always say to people, and I say it often on my group too, if anyone wants a sample of something to try, if they're thinking of buying it, let me know. So I do send samples as well of other oils to people if they're already signed up.
Okay, that's a key thing. Thanks for sharing that. Absolutely, sampling doesn't stop. Just because they've got an account, people might not ever buy again, and that's such a shame because they really do want to buy again, and they'll want to without them even knowing they want to. So that continued customer care, that's a great idea. Giving a sample, maybe looking on your back office, and if people have been inactive for a while, get in touch and ask if they'd like a sample, or send them a welcome pack. Again, doesn't have to be, just because you haven't sent it to them. You could take Rochelle's idea and make something affordable for yourselves and do like a Remember doTERRA pack.
Exactly. I mean, I couldn't afford to do welcome packs when I started. But then it reached a point where I thought, well, I can afford it now. And there are a few people that haven't got it. So I did send an email out. If anyone didn't get a welcome pack from me, please let me know. I want to send you one. And so I did that. In January, I sent about, 30 packs out or something that people hadn't received one. So, yeah.
That's brilliant. But certainly if you can't afford to send a welcome pack out, you could probably afford to send a sample out, at any stage of your business. So, reaching out. That's a great idea. Any more questions in the chat? Just having a look. I think we've covered everything there. Any more questions from anyone at all?
Just while we're waiting, I listened to a great podcast about customer care, and it was, it resonated so well. I mean, it was about all random things like, people who worked in Nordstrom's in America, and people who worked in a restaurant, and all different. It was a podcast by a particular guy who was talking to another guy who specializes in customer care, like he writes about customer care, but they were using examples of all these different people. And it's true. Like, I think all people have got to do is think about their own experiences of customer care. Like, when someone really takes care of you and nurtures you, and you are loyal to the ground to them. If you think about, for example, there's a garage that is now, 2 examples. I've got a hairdresser that is, since I moved, 14 minutes away from me. This is 3 examples, actually. I've got a dentist that's an hour away from me since I moved. And I've got a garage that's half an hour away from me since I moved. All 3, amazing care. Like, I trust them to the ground. And I would recommend them to anyone, first and foremost. But secondly, I travel to go to them because they've given me incredible customer care. And you've just got to think of that. Like, you are that person to the doTERRA customer. You are doTERRA to them. Whether there is doTERRA in the background or not, you are doTERRA to them. So their experience of doTERRA and their experience of the oils is you. And you've only got to think in your life, like, spend some time, after we get off the call, thinking of examples of customer care in your life that has made you loyal to a brand or loyal to a business. People that go the extra mile for you, people like to feel cared for. And when they're buying something, I had a woman call me the other day. I got the Home Essentials kit. I spent £226.80 and I got it in bubble wrap, and it is a bit rubbish, let's be honest, how the Home Essential kit arrives when you've spent all that money. And I said, I totally get it, I totally hear you. She's someone also that I think could be a good sharer. And so I said, you know what, did you see that bag I brought the oils in, Lucinda's travel bags? And she said, yeah, I really loved it. I said, I'll send you one. Now, I know not everyone can afford it, but most people wouldn't even complain about it. It was important to her that this money that she had spent, I can't go back to doTERRA and say, please, could you send her a box? We can't do that. I am doTERRA to her, though. Actually, I want her to host classes for me as well. So I'm buying her one of Lucinda's bags and I'm sending it to her. And that's the kind of thing that, you've got to think about, that experience. It might cost me 20 quid to send it to her, but what's it going to mean? If she hosts a class for me every month for the next 2 years, which she could because she owns a shop, health food shop, what are Lucinda's bags? So Lucinda's got a website called essentialoilclothing.co.uk, and she makes beautiful bags for keeping the oils in, and she also makes great t-shirts. So yeah, essentialoilclothing.co.uk. And so, there's another example. I know not everyone can afford that. I'm not saying they should, but it's just, you've just got to think, who went the extra mile for you and how did it make you feel about them and about the brand? And the chances are it made you loyal to them, and it made you feel kindly and passionately and interested in the brand and want to continue to learn more about it.
Brilliant. Thanks, Michelle. And I was just thinking though, we're all different and we all have different boundary limits. We all have different things that we find overwhelming and other things that we find quite easy to do. Mm-hmm. So, the point is that continued customer care can come in many different forms. But as Rochelle's kind of emphasised, and I completely agree, it's just so important. Continued customer care is so important because, you're making these contacts you have into quality contacts, really. And we talk about finding builders, and that's usually when people are into the business, that's one of their things you focus on and you worry about and you really want. Well, actually, the best pool of people you have to work with are the ones you've already got. Yeah. For your customers. And often people are trying to find more and more and more, and not perhaps working with the ones you've got. And if you nurture the ones you've got, as I'm sure you've found, Michelle, quite a few times, is that they do turn into sharers, into builders, into someone that will host a class for you. Yeah. And it's lovely, as well as you're building that relationship and making them feel special. And then want to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to add something in there. I'm back down. The children are finally sleeping. So I was listening in the background, and yeah, lovely information. But I watched a podcast recently. I listened to a podcast recently, and it was called Elevating Humanity Through Business. And it was a fascinating podcast on pretty much what you said, Rochelle. But it was about the conscious capitalist movement, and it was talking about, for example, Whole Foods, which is a massive business corporation, but their focus was on the consumer before it was on the on their financial gain. However, what happens there is if you focus on the consumer, then actually the outcome is higher financial gain in the long run anyway. And it's a really lovely podcast by the gentleman that was speaking had so much wisdom. He was a gentleman called Raj Sisodia, and he was a guest speaker on Back to the Source, and he was talking all about that, and it was really, really lovely.
Amazing. Yeah, and that actually, if you think about it, goes completely along with what the doTERRA culture teaches, isn't it? It's about focusing on the one. You know, doTERRA themselves as a company, you know, yes, they are interested in making money, but actually they're interested in changing people's lives and focusing on the one. So if we're moving on from people too quickly and not properly nurturing them, we're not really empowering them enough and not really changing their lives. And so it all goes along with it. That's brilliant. Yeah,
that's great. What was the podcast called again, Emily?
It's called Back to the Source. The podcast shows, and this particular one was called Elevating Humanity Through Business.
I listened to it on my way home.
Yeah,
cool. I'll get someone to put the link up.
Lucy
bag. Perfect. Oh, wonderful. I don't want to end because it's the end of the RAC, so I'm just hanging on. Any more questions? Anyone? Thank you so much, Rochelle. Your hair, you can go and sort your hair up, even though I think it's...
I have a question how you make your hair like this, because I don't know if I can tell you.
What's hanging down in the background?
Emily, it's I'm in someone else's house and it's his dirty...
I asked at the beginning.
It's the backdrop.
Oh, I'm so glad that you're enjoying that. Earth is Hiring, Emily. Yeah, okay. We're just seeing that. It's a great book. Earth is Hiring. Anyone should listen.
Is that the one you recommended last time?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I've recommended. Have you listened to anything I recommended yet, Rebecca?
Not quite yet. I will. I've got a big list now. So thank you. When I've got space, I'm going to have it filled. This is great. So I'm waiting for my new phone, and I'm going to get a podcast on there. I'm going to podcast myself right up.
Running with the podcast is good.
Running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fast walking.
Yes, I can do this. So, even I'm too old to be a millennial. So this is the end of the RAC. We're next Monday, as I said, we're going to be having a guest speaker come on and talk to us about this data protection. But we'll be announcing those who have ranked as well and celebrating all your hard work. And Michelle's hair will be looking different, maybe. Don't know. But yeah, it's been lovely, and we really hope you found and you'd have enjoyed different parts, and everyone hopefully would have got some stuff out of this. But it's been lovely coming together as leaders. I always really enjoy that, so thank you everybody for sharing and all your contributions. It's been lovely. Thank you everyone. And also just really a word just to say to you all, just keep going. You'd have heard slightly different styles from us all, but the main thing is that doTERRA, what it offers is just incredible, and it really is life-changing from a health perspective, also from a business perspective, and it's so durable. All the keys are there for you to do, all the steps are there, and yes, it's hard, and yes, sometimes it's deflating, but it should be much harder than it is, much, much harder to get what you can get out of it. And the rewards way, way outweigh the hard work. And, and the hard work is all about self-growth as well. So just keep going. Don't doubt yourself. Keep learning and just keep doing it. Anything you want to say, Anne? Sure, right there.
Looking forward to convention.
Yes. Looking forward to meeting as many of you. So come up and say hi, please, because it's going to be very busy, and we want to obviously meet as many of you as we can. And come to the party, because that's a really lovely. Come to the parties. It's a great time to kind of just connect with different people, and you're just as you chat to other people, you'll connect with different people you don't even know yet, and that's really motivating as well and lovely. So thank you so much. Will we get to stay in the group to go over everything again? Yeah, we'll keep the Facebook stuff up. And just a note on Boyd Truman's Symphony of the Cells. It's definitely happening on Wednesday, the 22nd of August. The time's going to be 10 till 5. The hotel, the Jory Inn in Milton Keynes, has said it's available. So it's going to be at the Jory Inn in Milton Keynes. As soon as it goes live, as soon as the link's up and everything, he does it through Eventbrite, I'm pretty sure. He said that we can have a week to book it. So I'll put it up everywhere. We'll give it to all our leaders and make sure that you guys have 1 week to book it, because I think there's only 100 places and it will go pretty quick, I'm sure. So
22nd of August, is that all day?
It is. It's 10 till 5. 10 till 5 p.m. August was the only month he had left available in the year. When he said August to me, I was like, oh no, well, can we at least do it at the end of August? So I'm hoping a lot of you are back from your holidays. Who won the Y and Strength challenges? So I know from my daughters. The Y and Strength challenges. What's your Y? Oh, yes. Have we done? Was that what? I've lost track of it. Was that last week's challenge? No, last week's challenge was the greatest volume. So we did announce the Y and Strengths one last week, didn't we, Nath? I think that was the one from the previous week. What event takes place on August the 26th?
It was the previous week, so I can't remember. It would be on the recording though.
Yes, sorry. We probably posted it. Did we post it on Facebook as well, or not that one? I might not have.
Don't know. I can't remember what we posted.
But we definitely announced the winners. I can't remember. The cost of Boyd's training, I'm not sure exactly. Nath, what was it? Was it £100-ish? I have in my head.
No.
More? Oh, a bit more.
€200.
Oh, was it €200? Okay, so £160-ish.
I've got a question for Nathan on it. Is he actually going to use it?
Simply the cells.
What are you planning on doing with your training, Nathan?
Good question.
I'm just going to stop the recording.